Hey, what's up, guys? Sauceman MMA and UFC 327 is right around the corner. So this is going to be my full main card predictions for the fight. I'm not going to do the prelims for this card because I'm lazy. And without ado, let's get right into the video. So to open up the main fight, we have Paulo Costa versus Azamat Murzakanov. And I want to take a moment to just appreciate how good this card is because there's so many fights on here that I feel like they're going to just be knockouts really fast. And this is one of those fights, too, that I think it could be a brutal knockout. But this is a fight that was kind of randomly announced by the UFC. I'm not really sure why Paulo Costa is fighting a number 6 ranked light heavyweight when he's just moving up from middleweight. And this is a really interesting fight to talk about because Azamat Murzakanov, he's been a crazy run, knocked out Rakic at 321, I'm pretty sure it was, with that jumping right hook. Just put him out cold. But Paulo Costa is not someone to be, just look over either. He was pretty good at middleweight. He fought Israel Adesanya, obviously got finished pretty horribly by Izzy. But he hasn't been doing too terrible. He lost to Strickland, then he beat Roman Kopylov, and he's moving up to light heavyweight now. We could see a career best performance with Paulo Costa. That's entirely possible. He had one light heavyweight fight. He looks pretty good. He didn't look like a completely different fighter, but he did look better. His durability and stuff, and less weight cutting. And he is walking around at 243 pounds. I looked at his Instagram. It was a picture of him on the scale, and he's 243 pounds. So he's way bigger now. They doesn't have to cut the middleweight. And he has a lighter man skill that can translate, so that's also a factor for him too. I am picking Azamat Murzakanov he might KO Paulo Costa, but it could go to a decision. But I think he's going to TKO him in round 2 or something like that. I think Costa's going to be doing good. Then he's going to get caught off something huge and get put out. So I'm going to pick Azamat Murzakanov by TKO in round 2. Our next fight in the card is going to be Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. I'm actually pretty confident this fight won't go over a round, or I'm going to take it a step further. This fight won't go further than 2 minutes and 42 seconds. It's a really random prediction. If I'm right somehow, that'd be hilarious, but there's no shot this fight goes out the first round. You have Johnny Walker, who's been chinned so many times. Dominic Reyes, who had a bit of resurgence, and then Carlos Frodberg ruined it. I'll talk about Carlos Frodberg later. But, what do I even say of these two? These two are both chinny guys. Obviously, Reyes had that infamous fight with Jones where he should have won that fight, and he did win that fight, but the judges decided to screw him over. Johnny Walker, he doesn't have, amazing wins. His best win that I can think of off the top of my head is Khalil Roundtree Jr., which is pretty weird that he beat Roundtree Jr., and Roundtree's above him, which is pretty insane. But with this fight right here, Dominic Reyes, his kickboxing's really good. I was watching film of him before making this video. His striking is really good. He's got power in his hands. There was that one knockout. It was at 314 last year where he knocked out Nikita Krylov, I'm pretty sure it was, where he was going backwards and threw a right hand. So he has still got that striking in him. But Johnny Walker's just so goofy. He just kind of throws stuff and prays. He's kind of just jiggling around, just moving, jerking all over the place. It's really weird stuff from Johnny Walker. This is a really tough one to call because they're both chinny fighters. They're both kind of washed. This one's really hard to pick. I'm going to pick Dominic Reyes by knockout, though, because Johnny Walker, I really don't see him putting out Dominic Reyes cold unless he lands clean, but Reyes still has, he has decent defense, even though he is a little chinned, he's been chinned a bunch of times and he's washed. I don't think Johnny Walker's going to knock him out. I don't see it. I think Reyes is going to probably knock him out in the first round, or he's going to TKO him. We could see something like the Jamal Hill knockout where he knocks him down, and then Johnny Walker just kind of flies backwards, and then he gets TKO'd by Dominic Reyes. I just don't think Johnny Walker's bag is deep enough to beat Dominic Reyes, even in this wash state. So I'm going to pick Dominic Reyes by knockout. Our next fight in the card, Josh Hogan versus Curtis Blades, and just another case of the UFC's just weird matchmaking. I don't know why Josh Hogan was really unranked, just getting number 5 ranked Curtis Blades. And this is the second time they've done this to Curtis Blades. They gave him Rizvan Guniev for his last fight. He beat him by decision. Now he's getting Josh Hogan. The thing of people in Josh Hogan is that they're gassing him up so bad. They're like, he's the next Colby Covington, He's going to destroy Curtis Blades. He's going to be a real problem for Tom Aspinall. I think that's ridiculous. I think he's going to get a fraud check, just a matter of how and when. I think Curtis Blades, no exaggeration, is going to just demolish Josh Hogan. He's not going to take down Curtis Blades. He's going to have to strike with him. Josh Hogan literally beats, I think it's Denzel Freeman and some other guy, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh my word, Josh Hogan, oh my goodness. Like he's some elite fighter or something. I think if he beats Curtis Blades somehow, I think he still gets demolished by the rest of the division. Volkov would destroy him. Waldo would knock him out. Tom Aspinall would destroy him. Cyril Gane would just eye poke him. But talking about the fight, Curtis Blades, I feel like he's just way too much for Josh Hokett. This is way too much, way too soon. I don't even know why this fight was made. Josh Hokett should be fighting someone like Tuivasa or something who's lower in the rankings and then build himself up. We've seen this happen before where heavyweight prospects get rushed too quickly. Like when Taliesin Teixeira fought Derek Lewis and got knocked out in round 1. I still think similar happening here where Josh Hokett maybe tries to knock out Curtis Blades and gets too careless. And Curtis just takes him down and just mauls him like the Alistair Overeem fight, where Curtis Blades took him down and just mauled him. He was just covered in blood. I could see that happening here. Curtis Blades could just take down Hokett and just cut him open and just demolish him. But Curtis Blades has some really weird fight IQ sometimes. When he fought Sergey Pavlovich, he just stood there for a minute straight, then shot in, and by then it was way too late. Even against Derek Lewis, he shot right into an uppercut and just got flatlined. I am pretty confident that he beats Josh Hokett. I don't think Josh Hokett's like some elite level wrestler. I don't think he's that good. Well, I don't think he sucks or anything, but he's not the level of a top 5 heavyweight just yet. But in the future, I can see him making the top 500%. This division's really bad. Plus, the fighters like Alex Pereira and stuff moving up, I don't think it's Josh Hokett's time yet. So I'm going to pick Curtis Blades by TKO. Co-main event of the card, we have Joshua Van defending his belt against Tatsuro Taira. Now, I did watch film on both of these guys before making this video, and I will say Tatsuro Taira, he doesn't really strike me as a fighter who's going to go out there and knock out Joshua Van. He did beat Brandon Moreno, and he did beat Young Sung Park too. But he lost to Brandon Royval. And I don't know, the math doesn't work, but Joshua Van beat him, and Tatsuro Taira couldn't beat him. I don't think Tatsuro Taira is like some dangerous striker where it's like you get hit with him clean, it's over. I think his grappling's good, but Joshua Van, I feel like he's not someone that's going to be taken down and smudged by Tatsuro Taira. I feel like on the feet, Joshua Van's going to have complete control. He's going to be boxing Taira up. He's going to be moving and weaving, getting those exchanges in, just floating in and out. And really, I don't think Joshua Van's grappling is that terrible. People are always like, I've seen so many people online, they're just like, yeah, Joshua Van's going to get submitted. I picked Joshua Van to beat Pantoja. Obviously, that fight was a disaster with Pantoja's arm breaking and stuff. But I picked Joshua Van to win because I feel like he could defend Pantoja's takedowns and just outstrike him on the feet, And I feel the same with this fight, too. I feel like Tatsuro Taira, he is a good grappler, but I feel like Joshua Van's probably just drilling grappling ridiculously hard right now. And I don't see Taira submitting Joshua Van, because Joshua Van's not just some bomb who can strike and can't grapple. He's pretty fast in the feet, and he's tough, too. You remember the Brandon Royval fight? Those two were just going at it. Joshua Van was taking some huge shots in the chin, and he wouldn't go down. I mean, he did get dropped at one point during the fight, I'm pretty sure. I actually could see this fight going to a decision. I could see Tatsuro Taira it's just a cycle of him just trying to get takedowns. Van defends the takedowns and just boxes him up, throws combinations, and that repeats for 5 rounds straight, and Van 50-45s him. I very well could see Joshua Van winning by decision. Or I could see a TKO is possible. Joshua Van is a pressure boxer. He likes to throw combinations and go forward. I could see a decision or a TKO by Joshua Van. I don't know what to pick on specifically, but I am picking Joshua Van to win this fight, either by a decision or by a TKO late in the fight. Main event of the card, Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg for the vacant light heavyweight title. With Jiri Prochazka in the fight, it's going to be absolute craziness. Carlos Ulberg has been a pretty good run, too. He hasn't really had any wins where I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude, he beat this guy. Like, he beat Dominic Reyes. Wow. Like, he beat Jan Blachowicz. Wow, man. Oh my word, man. Oh my, who does that to Dominic Reyes, man? Literally, that three fight losing streak he was on, literally everybody did that to Dominic Reyes. And with Jan Blachowicz, too, he fought Jan Blachowicz. I mean, Jan Blachowicz he's always been old. But he went to a decision with him, a close decision, too, which is kind of insane. But with this fight right here, I just feel like he's going to beat Carlos Ulberg just by outpacing him. Carlos Ulberg, I've seen his fights. He's more of just a kickboxer who tries to make it technical, and he will look for knockouts. He will knock people out when he can. But if he has to be a boring point fighter, he'll do that. Against Jiri, that's not going to work. I can see not Dominic Reyes. I can see Carlos Ulberg trying to make it, a point fighting match, just like bobbing in and out. And Jiri just he does a jumping armbar, just roll and just gets in Ulberg's face. And what I've seen too is that Ulberg doesn't thrive in brawls. In Jiri, the brawls he gets into in the fights, him and Roundtree were just throwing everything like they had at each other. Ulberg isn't like that. He doesn't really like to get in just crazy exchanges like that. Plus, Yuri's ridiculously durable, and he's fought better guys. Even though he's lost to Pereira twice, I feel like Pereira and Carlos Ulberg are just two completely different fighters. Pereira's way better than him. And Yuri's beat guys like Roundtree and Jamal Hill. I know those aren't like amazing wins per se, but they are really good wins for the division. Those were two high-ranked fighters at one point. And Jamal Hill was a former champion too. And Yuri knocked out Dominic Reyes and knocked out Alexander Rakic too. And he has power too. Like he's not a massive light heavyweight. Like he cuts I think 10 pounds for his fights. So he's not really focused on the weight cut either. But I just think Yuri's gonna out chaos him, if that's even a word. I'm starting to sound like Yuri now. I will out chaos him. I'll bring the storm. Yes. I just think Yuri's gonna go out there and just he's probably gonna lose the entire fight, and then in round 5, the last 30 seconds, he's gonna do a flying switch knee or something crazy like that. I just don't think Carlos Ulberg has a bag deep enough to beat Yuri. With Yuri Prochazka, if you don't knock him out in rounds 1 or 2, you're cooked. Literally, if you just Alex Pereira, he was able to put him down with that hook and then ground and pound him. And they got him with the head kick too. If you can't do that, if you're basically what I'm saying is if you're not Alex Pereira, you're not beating Jiri. His only losses in the UFC are Alex Pereira, who's a really high level fighter. And I don't think Carlos Ulberg is gonna beat him. I just don't. I can't see him doing that. Like I can't see Ulberg going forward with the right hand and just knocking Jiri out cold. I just don't see it happening. So I'm gonna pick Jiri Prochazka by TKO or just flat out knockout. All these fights are just so good, man. This is a great card. The Miami card is always super great. My predictions, most of all these fights are gonna go to finishes, which is really good to see. And if I sound off or tired in the video, I just got back from sparring at the gym, and I'm like really exhausted. So if I sound tired or kind of drowsy during the video, I apologize for that. But yeah, those are my predictions for UFC 227. I'm super excited for this card. Probably one of the best cards I've seen besides UFC Seattle, which was amazing, by the way. I might make a YouTube short on that. But yeah, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Thanks for watching.